Is our own Mark Sayer. He's inside the blast zone. Mark, what was it like?
Steve, as usual, it was unbelievable, and the cloud of dust is just now reaching us. It managed to hold short, it seems, maybe about 10 or 15 feet, but the mist is just reaching us, and again, like a snowfall, it actually smells very acrid, like a fire, like something perhaps has burned and is now descending upon us. So a little bit is being filtered out by my mask. I hope you can see this in front of me. We literally have just turned night into additional night, to more night, to additional blackness. It is really quite an experience right now. We're going to take another look at mast cam. This was from the top of our 50-foot microwave mast, focusing on the sands. And there it goes, dropping out of the skyline for the first, last, and only time. So the dust cloud has descended upon us. It is not quite as thick as the dust cloud that we experienced at the dunes, comparable to what we experienced at the landmark, but it is definitely here. And I feel like I'm in Utah going skiing. We're going to take a look at balcony cam once again. This is from the 15th or 16th floor of the sands. Looks like an earthquake. And it didn't last very long, and believe me, it took a whole lot of time to put that thing up there, and we're hoping we get 5 or 10 seconds out of that. This looks like about what we got. High above the whole situation is News 13's Mark Martinez in live Chopper 13. Mark, how's it look from up there?
Well, Mark, you can actually see that that cloud of dust and debris actually starting to dissipate. We saw it move to the north right after the implosion, but it didn't seem to stick around too long, though you're down in it and we're up above it, so it's easy for me to say. But it was quite spectacular. I don't know if we have the video of the actual implosion from live Chopper 13, but we've seen some great views from the ground. Here you can see from the sky cam a view of the implosion there. You see that dust cloud. But once again, we say it's not nearly what we saw with the landmark and the other implosions around here, Mark. I don't know how it compares on the ground, but it's quickly starting to move out of the way with the 15-mile-an-hour winds we have up here. Now, here's the video actually from live Chopper 13 that we saw earlier. As you see, there's the sands just a few seconds before, and there it goes down. That was our view from here. It's amazing how quickly history can go down. There you see that dust cloud starting to move to the north. And right now, we can come back to a live shot. You can see it's pretty much gone. That's the view from live Chopper 13. Now back to you, Mark.
Pretty much gone indeed. We're going to take another look at our mast cam as we punch up what it looks like right now, and we are going to pan around to our position. The dust, just like Mark said, is dissipating very fast. We have a small wind, perhaps of 5 miles an hour blowing, and you see the bright lights down there. That is us, and you can barely see us. Fred, if you can get a tight shot of my handheld scanner here, we're going to give you a look at exactly what we're talking about and all the dust that we had. You can see literally the dust on the radio here, and this is all from what just occurred. And we're going to have to clean the radio, obviously. But we seem to have come through here relatively unscathed. We did get it, but we did not get pummeled, which is a good thing and something which we have been in the past, which is pummeled. And believe me, it's not very fun. Robin Burke is about 300 yards to my north. Robin, how'd it look from your perspective?
Mark, it went straight in back of the sands. It didn't come in our direction at all. It went straight north. Actually, I feel pretty lucky. And it wasn't a white cloud like we saw with the landmark either. It was kind of a really dark gray cloud, and it has already dissipated, as you can see. When it first happened, you couldn't see the lights at all across the way. You couldn't see the Harris sign or anything. It was completely a dark cloud, blacked out. As you can see, already we can read the signs. It's dissipated very quickly up into the air and back to the north. Also across the strip of ways, it's gotten pretty heavy over there as well, but not what I expected, and I must say that I'm happy that it didn't come in this direction. There's a lot of people out here who are watching it without masks, without any protective gear, and this way it just really worked out. Back to you. Gaser, Mike Gaser, are you there on the street?
Okay, I'm hearing that. We are now down on the street. I apologize for that. The dust is just now reaching us after all this time. We are in front of Treasure Island, and with the smoke drifting over us, you might think the pirate show just ended, but it did not. The sands just came down instead. They are about to open up the strip right now. That's why we are moving right now and trying to get out of the way. But a lot of the people who were down here kind of droned when there was that delay, thinking, oh, this didn't happen. Then the sands finally went down, and the reaction from everyone here, you know, were the normal oohs and ahs. But for a split second, people were wondering if this was going to happen or not. And these are the people who were down on the strip taking a look behind the police tape. And finally, you heard the cheers and the excitement from the crowd. All in all, everyone seemed excited. A couple people walked by and said, awesome. So as far as Las Vegas shows go, I think this ranked up there with some of the best.
All right, thank you very much. That's Mike Gieser live down on strip level. We are in the VIP viewing area. There were hundreds of people up here on the top level of one of the Mirage parking garages. And right now behind me, you can see all that is left of the sands. There is still a small cloud of dust hovering over the area. And out there in the middle, a large pile of rubble that seems to be still standing about 30 or 40 feet into the air. It will take them a matter of days to cart that all off in big trucks. They'll take it out. Some will be recycled. Some will be just put in a landfill. And then they'll clear the area, getting ready for the future of the sands, which will be a $1.8 billion mega resort called the Venetian. It will be quite different from this. This, again, the final moments from room 6808, the top floor balcony. This is slowed down, and you can see a lot more debris than we were told to expect up there on the balcony. We were hoping we might be able to ride the building down a little more, but wow, what an ending. What a checkout to the final stay in that room. Mark Sayer is still down in the blast zone. Mark, it looks like the cloud is clearing a little bit.
The cloud is clearing indeed, and we're beginning to see things that we were never able to see from this perspective before. As I get out of the way, take a look at the Harrah's sign. The Harrah's sign was not visible from this perspective before the implosion of the sands. Now it is plainly visible. We can also see the Mirage sign across the street, another sign that we couldn't see, and you can still see in that shot the lingering dust cloud. It is certainly clearing out, but indeed it is still in this area. Now, two other things to talk about here. One, the noise. The noise, make no mistake about it, it was deafening. There were a series of explosions that were extremely loud. People here plugging their ears, things shaking, a tremendous thundering. And also there are many hotel rooms around here and adjacent hotels that look up at the sands. And one of the things that was very interesting to see is at the moment you saw the first flashes of light, flash bulbs went off. Thousands of flash bulbs from, it seemed, every window in every hotel in any way surrounding the sands. People obviously here, they're on vacation, they want to take a look at what's going on. They figure, what a better free show in Las Vegas than the implosion of the sands, and indeed, that is what they got. Steve?
All right, Mark, quite a show indeed. You mentioned the sound. You could feel it literally in your gut. It's the same thing we felt on the other implosions, although this one might not have been as spectacular from a firepower and pyrotechnic perspective. You really feel it when those charges go off, and even from here, 150 yards away or so, it was very powerful indeed, and especially when they started ratcheting up the building then, and then there were those few seconds where you weren't quite sure whether the building was going to come down or not, and then boom, another round of charges went off, and that's what brought it down as the tower came pancaking to the ground in 10 seconds or so from the moment when it started falling. Mark Sayer, let's go back to you, back down there in the blast zone.
Well, Steve, I have some tremendous news for you. It doesn't look like much to you, but this is a live picture from our blast cam. We have tried to destroy this camera in 4 implosions. It is still alive and kicking. Blast cam has survived a 4th hotel being dropped upon it. Here is blast cam. We designed this so the hotel would fall directly on top of our camera. We thought every time we did this that the camera would be obliterated, and this is even a slow-mo view. That gives you a real good look at the explosion. And here comes the hotel. It looks like the sign right on top of our camera. And as we punch up blast cam again, it does not seem too significant, but the Sony Corporation, which makes this, believe it or not, when they had one of their big shows here last year, was so impressed that blast cam survived the implosion of the landmark that they actually requested us to put it on display for them at their major trade show, which indeed we did, and narrated a little history for them. And going through the show with the 200,000 exhibitors there, without question, it was one of the top attractions. People were stopping, they were looking and saying, I can't believe a hotel has fallen on this camera, and it's still going. And again, yet another hotel has fallen on blast cam. And Steve, I know you and blast cam have a long history.